After my family joined hands to send me to prison for 3 years, I start learning how to behave myself. I do whatever everyone else tells me to do. The day I'm released from prison, my wife, Regina Johnson, sits in the car and says coldly, "If you ever lay those hands of yours on Ty again, Before she can say anything else, I jump out of the car, pick up a brick from the side of the road, and smash my hand into a pulp with it. Regina stares at the bone sticking out and goes pale. When we get back home, Tyler Lowe, my adopted younger brother, ambushes me in the bathroom and scoffs. "So what if you're the biological son of the Lowe family? I can just as easily have you kicked out of the family then." He uses a blade to make a small cut on one of his fingers before crying out in alarm, "If you really hate me, Cal, I'll leave right away. Please don't kill me." Regina and my older sister, Callista Lowe, enter just in time to witness his display. Shaking with anger, they stomp on my wound with their high heels. "You haven't changed one bit. If anything happens to Ty, he'll make you pay for it with your life." I nod obediently and march straight to the kitchen, where I jump into the massive meat grinder before turning it on. The blood and bits of flesh spray all over Mom and Dad, who end up walking in right then. Mom lets out a shrill shriek before fainting, while Dad forces himself to remain composed as he turns off the power. At this point, even Regina, my sharp-tongued wife, can't find the words to say anything. She stands frozen, her body trembling. When we're inside the ambulance, Tyler clings to Regina, quivering as he says, "This has nothing to do with me. He jumped into the machine himself. You have to believe me. It's almost impossible for me to stay conscious through the unbearable pain, but I muster the strength to nod along with him." After failing to win over my family, I spent 3 years in prison. Later on, the system told me that if I showed absolute obedience until the day I died, I would receive massive financial compensation and be transported back to my original world. Chapter My flesh had been shredded almost beyond recognition. It took the doctors at the hospital 3 days to wrestle me from the clutches of death as my wife, Regina Johnson, stared at my heavily bandaged body. Pain flashed through her eyes. She turned to Tyler Lowe and asked slowly, "What exactly happened between you and Calvin in the bathroom that day? He used to value his life so much. Why would he jump into a meat grinder just because someone stepped on him?" Tyler's eyes darted around evasively as he replied in a wounded tone, "I have no idea. Cal went crazy out of nowhere that day. He called me a phony, saying that I was stealing his place. He said he wanted to kill me." My older sister, Callista Lowe, shielded Tyler behind her and shot me a vicious glare before saying, "Regina, Ty has always treated you like a sister. How can you suspect him like that?" She turned back to me, her eyes filled with disgust. "Do you have no shame, Calvin? Ty has been nothing but good to you, yet you're resorting to a nasty trick like this to set him up. If you wanted to die so badly, why didn't you just smash your head into a wall or jump off a building? You obviously made this huge scene on purpose to gain sympathy." Recalling what the system told me, I swiftly nodded. There were safety bars installed over the windows, so I couldn't jump from here, but if I smashed my head hard enough into the wall, I could finally be free. I threw off the blanket and forced myself upright with sheer willpower. The bandages all over my body were soaked through with blood, yet it was as if I couldn't feel the pain anymore. After taking a deep breath, I hurled myself at the wall with every ounce of strength I had left. The deafening bang echoed in the hospital room. My skull split open instantly, blood streamed down my face and blurred my vision collapsed on the floor. I touched the dent in my head, feeling wistful. What a shame I didn't die from that. Just as I gathered my strength to charge at the wall again, Regina grabbed me and yanked me backward. For the first time in a long while, I heard panic and worry in her voice. "Calvin, what are you doing?" I opened my mouth and coughed up a huge mouthful of blood. The next second, my parents rushed over and pulled me into their arms. "Cal, what's wrong with you? You're breaking my heart." "Mom,